intro that I can play.
Oh, it says it's live.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
Just popped up on the screen.
Nice.
Huh.
Hey, can you guys post a link to the YouTube channel in our chat, in our usual chat?
Tank's in the Comedy Store.
Or in the private chat, whatever. I'm just looking for the link.
GC, can you send him a link?
To what?
To the YouTube thing in his, the YouTube,
Yes.
so he can find it in our private chat.
Yes. Hold on.
So these are 5 of the 6 guys that are making the trip from Tampa to Anchorage, Alaska. We're doing it for the Special Needs Dental Care, which is the humanitarian foundation portion of the Grottos International. It is our charity for Grotto that we are trying to raise money and awareness for. A big part of this trip is to raise awareness for Grotto so that people know what Grotto is about. We've had several grottos reconstituted because of this. There's several guys in Canada that are interested in starting grottos now, which is a great thing because we don't have a lot of grottos in Canada. And it's also a good thing to do because we're going to bring in awareness to masonry as well. So now GC is gone.
He'll come back someday.
So what do you want to start with about the and there's Tony.
Oh, hey, there's Tony.
Took me a minute. I didn't know you guys changed rooms. Sorry.
That's okay. I had some issues with the first room, technical difficulties, getting it all worked out.
It's a one-man band. There's no producers and executive people helping out.
And there won't be for a long time.
So I think Risky needs to get glasses because everyone else has beards and glasses but him.
But Tank's not wearing glasses.
Tank can't see us.
Right?
Somebody
So
I've
done. Oh, there's GC. There he goes.
Hey, we're all there. There we are.
What a crew.
So I did some more research today. Got some good news. You guys all know that one of our stops, our first stop, is Hoover, Alabama. We were stopping at Dinar Grotto. Experienced some issues there because after several months of communicating with people and trying to work it out to be able to stop there, I got a phone call yesterday morning that they were bailing out on us. They said they would send us $200 to contribute towards the calls. However, they did not feel they had enough people to be able to accommodate a visitation with us when we come through. Reached out with Brandon with the Widow Sons from North Alabama. He's got some guys he's going to put together. So we may be north of Birmingham when we stop, might be 15 or 20 minutes further. But we have guys that we'll be able to stop and have dinner with at least while we're traveling. So like I said at the beginning of this, part of the reason that we wanted to do this, or I wanted to do this, is to bring light to masonry so that people know who we are and what we do and why we do it, and share in the brotherhood and fellowship that we have with other brothers along the route. So that was a good thing that we were able to pick up where we stumbled a little bit on our first stop. We've got it worked out now. So
good.
Very good.
So what other kind of things have you guys been working on or up to? I know a lot of people are getting ready to travel to head this direction to start in Florida. How have the plans been?
Pretty good. We have, for the 3 of us in Jersey, we have our time frame as to when we're going to load things up and what time we're leaving on Monday. To head south.
Which Cracker Barrel we're going to stop at?
The first one. The first one right by the Delaware Memorial Bridge.
Sad that we know these things.
Load up on an Uncle Herschel's breakfast and hit the road.
Some old timers, and we're going.
Mhm.
And Tank, you're meeting us in Evansville or between Evansville and Chicago?
Between Evansville and Chicago, right on day 4, I believe.
No.
Day
No.
three.
No,
Day
no,
three.
day 3.
If it's day 3, you'll catch us on the
Day
way
three.
back.
I'll ride real fast.
They'll throw the hook at you.
Yeah, we're gonna be picking you up in Covington, just off of I-74, on Sunday.
I talked with Poncho a little bit about our route up through Indiana. He said the route along the west side of Indiana, and I forget the road number. He said it's a really nice 2-lane road with grass strip in between. So he said there's going to be some stops and stuff like that, but I think I'd probably prefer that over interstate. It looks like a nice, it's in Indiana. It's a straight road. So stoplights will be the only thing to slow us down a little bit, but it's better to do that than it is to break west to stay on the interstate and then have to come back, or break east on the interstate and then have to come back over.
I'm good with that.
Yep.
I do.
Poncho may actually, there's an outside chance he might be joining me to link up with you guys and maybe, join us a little bit there.
Oh, nice.
So I can bring this up.
Holy smokes, that looks daunting.
Right.
Yep.
So each one of those, and this is only half of it.
Right.
Each one of those is is an overnight stop. So our first overnight stop, you can't see my cursor on the screen, can you?
Nope.
No.
Okay. So our first overnight stop is B, and that's the Birmingham, Alabama. C, the next one north, is the Evansville, Indiana. D is Chicago. E is going to be Minneapolis, and then F is Manitoba, Winnipeg, right? The guys are doing some pretty amazing things at some of these stops for us. It's going to be pretty cool. The Chicago, Illinois stop, Ivan has actually pulled out all the stops. He's having a big bike fest that day. Before we get there, is getting it going. They're doing a paper dinner or a paper plate dinner where all the proceeds go to the ride. He's got a whole bunch of vendors. If you guys have been following Facebook, I've been posting some of those as he has them come up. But it's a bike fest. He's got a Bait of Illinois tied into it. There's going to be some Widow Sons there as well that are going to travel with us from state line to state line. And then when we go up to Minneapolis, I don't know if you guys remember or not, but Minneapolis is a change. Originally, we planned on going to Duluth, Minnesota, and Duluth, their membership dropped down so low that they weren't going to be able to support us on the stop. So we made the change and went to Minneapolis by a brother I met when we were down in New Orleans for Supreme. He's very excited about that stop. He's doing a steak dinner for us at the lodge, which is where their grotto meets. And then from there, he's going to provide us accommodations there, and then we're going to head up to Winnipeg. And then, Winnipeg's our brothers in Winnipeg are certainly going to take care of us. And then they're going to ride with us from Winnipeg to Saskatoon. And then from Saskatoon, we have lodging set up in Saskatoon through the Winnipeg guys.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
after Saskatoon, we'll be in Edmonton.
Mhm.
And it's the same thing. We're going to catch up with our brothers in Edmonton that are going to provide us lodging and food in Edmonton. And they're going to ride with us, I think, up to Whitehorse.
They are. Yeah. I talked to Gringo about that a couple days ago. They're going to be going with us. There's 3 stops before we get to Whitehorse, but they're going to be with us the whole time.
Well, that's exciting.
That's really cool.
You can't even say Gringo's catchphrase because we're on a public channel.
Now wait a minute. I did mark the thing that said no children, so you may be able to.
But do you want to
Catch
risk
me if you
it?
can.
Risk
Right.
Catch me if you can.
Yeah.
Risky miles an hour.
So I did talk to, that was something else I was going to share with you guys. I tried out my GPS satellite thing today. I know we had discussions about this internally about what the best way to be able to maintain communication, especially as we get up into BC and Yukon. It was going to be very difficult to maintain UK communications with the rest of the world. I ended up buying a Garmin InReach SE Plus. I didn't buy it. I actually had it in a boat. We use it as an emergency device when we go 100 miles offshore. If we head over to Bahamas, it has GPS location, texting, tracking. It does not function as a phone, but it does provide us the ability to be able to track our ride. I have worked with Christine, the lady that has done the website for us. Anybody that's interested goes on the website. You can look at our GPS tracking. I tried it out today. I made a trip from Plant City. We're pretty close to where we're going to be getting started, over to the other side of Orlando. I was pretty happy with the way it worked. It records a point every 10 minutes. I could set it for more often than that, but it just turns into a lot of data. I had it on for, I don't know, I left over here around 11:30, got back at 5 o'clock. So about 5.5 hours. 5.5 hours, it only used 5% of its battery life. When it's on and transmitting and you're not fooling with the button, the screen goes black, and all it does is records a signal every 10 minutes. So I'm pretty happy with the way that worked out.
That looks good.
Yeah, I checked it.
Yeah, I like that.
I checked it midstream through the website, and it was pretty accurate to where Risky had pulled over. So it works pretty well in real time.
So take that off. So we can go back up here and we can talk about the trip a little bit more. Ray sent me a thing on Facebook that kind of scared me a little bit.
Me too.
the link to the Alaska.
Oh yes, the link to the Alaskan. Yeah, I know. Sorry, I had to though.
That looked a little rough when they were digging out, putting in a piece of 40-inch pipe, and the road was closed.
The fires, the floods, and
Right.
Yeah, it's the kind of stuff
jackknife
that's too
tankers. I'm not going to share that with
I'll
Dawn.
be fine. No, well, she's not watching. I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I came across that page and I started poking around. I'm like, there's probably some pretty good information that we can just look at it every day and just see what's going on.
Those are the kind of details that I wake up in the middle of the night and I start thinking about the stuff that could be in the way of making all the stops on time, and then I can't fall back to sleep.
Well, our wheels are narrow, so the roads don't have to be that wide.
Sure.
I got 4-wheel drive, and it's not my truck, so I'm good.
Even better.
You'll be fine. Oh, you guys, it's
Well,
raining.
then I don't see a problem. We'll get there.
Right. So a couple of other things that have worked out, I think, to our favor. We were talking about a place in Alaska to meet in Anchorage, and wanted to meet with brothers up there and be able to work that out. the results I got initially were kind of disappointing. The Grand Lodge gave it to the Widow Sons, and the guy I talked from the Widow Sons said, I'm going to be out of town because I'm doing another ride from Florida to Alaska. So, he's actually doing the Hoka the same time that we're making this trip. So,
Oh, is he?
yeah. So those guys are not available. But I did reach out to the Anchorage Lodge number 17 and found out those guys are going to be able to. That we actually show up on their meeting night, August 14th, as long as everything goes according to plan. If we can show up to their meeting night on August 14th and not be beat to death, it'd be pretty cool to be able to visit with them in lodge, to show up to lodge and participate in lodge. And when I started sending stuff back and forth with them, found out that it's actually their visitation from their Grand Master that night. So you might have to pack a collared shirt. I don't know they're going to let us in with blue jeans and boots on, but at least pack a collared shirt. Or we might have to hang around in the parking lot until they're done, just so we can talk to them. But yeah, I thought that was pretty
We could
cool.
probably do that too.
Right?
It's an extenuating circumstance.
Yeah,
We drove
It's a very
6,000
singular
miles to be here.
occurrence.
that's right. There's not many people that go 6,000 miles just to go to lodge. We'll certainly get the biggest helping of green bean casserole that night.
Hope there's meatloaf.
Hot dogs in a crock pot. Hot
Right.
dogs in a crock pot.
That's only if Eastern Star is involved. Eastern Star is over hot dog night.
I got a couple other things that I've talked with you guys about. One of them was we had to move another stop from forget where it was. McPherson. We had one in McPherson that we moved from McPherson to Oklahoma City because we couldn't get support from McPherson. And Oklahoma City, they're actually reconstituting a grotto in Oklahoma City. So with that move, I think originally I had to jockey some stuff around. Tank and I talked about this a little bit this morning. I believe I have a day that we're staying at Oklahoma City. If you go in and look at our itinerary, we have
Yeah.
not September,
It's the
29th.
30th, 29th.
29th.
Yeah.
29th.
Yeah. So the 29th will be in Oklahoma City. And with Oklahoma City, our brother there is going to set up they're doing an event a couple of days beforehand at a cigar lounge that he's a part owner in. And all of the proceeds from the sale that day, he's going to give, I don't remember what it was, 15% or something to the ride. So when we come through, they're actually going to give us a check to be able to take back and donate to the ride. And then from Oklahoma City, we'll go to Houston, Texas, the Gulf Coast Grotto Association. I got a couple of guys there that are interested in doing stuff and said that they're going to provide us housing or lodging and a meal for us when we come through there. Baton Rouge, the 31st, Brandon Lively in Baton Rouge is putting together a party for us, very similar to same thing that Chicago is doing. They want to get the Shrine Dune Buggy Patrol and all these other people to provide us an escort from the state line and over the bridge into Baton Rouge to their party. He's having special event shirts made just for his stop. So that'll be kind of cool. Purple and gold, I think you said, because that's LSU colors. And there's a big LSU game that weekend. So he's turning it into a whole weekend thing. I mean, we're only there for the one night, but the rest of the weekend, he's doing stuff for the whole weekend. And then Pensacola.
That's cool.
Pensacola on our way home is another big one. They've combined several grottos to meet at Pensacola instead of stopping at several different ones. And then Tallahassee and Ocala and back home. So according to my schedule, if it all shakes out, we'll be home by September 3rd. And then we're having a big welcome home party on September 8th, just because I didn't think, I know I'm not going to be up for hanging out partying all day if I just got back from Alaska. So we're gonna do the welcome home party on September 8th. So what other things do you guys have that are considerations for what we're doing? Ray, what's your biggest fear? What's your thing you're most apprehensive about for this?
I don't know. Been riding so long. Just long days. I've done long trips before, 700-mile trips. So I don't know, I guess the whole length of it is trying to wrap my head around it. Do a 1-day trip, 700 miles. That's not too bad, but do that, 500 to 700 mile days for 30 days.
Right.
But, I just, head straight and keep your chin up. Follow the guy in front of me.
What about you, Tank?
Well,
what if it's your day?
I think that, so similar concerns, I guess. This past week, I treated the ride out and back to New Jersey as kind of a shakedown cruise, if you will. And it's a little bit daunting to imagine that being like every day repetitively for 2 weeks. It was doable, but it's just, the only way I think you can prepare for something like that is to do it. So it's just, right now I'm just shaking down my my packing list, getting the bike packed, and I have a philosophy is other than spare tires and such, and maybe a grotto fez, I really don't like to pack more than what I can carry. So, shaking out that, thinking about how repetitive days of like a day riding to New Jersey and the day riding back. The riding too was particularly tough because the further east we got last week is, I think when we got closer, it was like 105 degrees, real temperature. And I hadn't been that hot since I was in Iraq doing combat operations in 2003. So you never know what the weather is going to bring. You can't account for that. So you just have to plan for the unexpected as best you can.
Right.
Yeah. Weather's what I'm worried about more than anything.
So Mr. Peabody, GC is our youngest of the group, I guess, as far as experience goes.
Experience riding.
Hasn't been riding, but 5 years, 6 years you've been riding
5.
pretty heavily here lately. GC, you put in 11,000 miles already this year. 13,000 miles this year.
Yeah.
So, and you're getting ready to do almost that much in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, weather. I mean, I know my ass is going to hurt. I know it is. It's just kind of the way it is. But the weather, I'm not for wearing rain gear because down in Florida, you get wet, you ride, and you dry. So, I'm going to bring every bit of gear I own and deal with it, I guess.
Talk to JP. He can offer you a lot of advice. And Ray can too, because both of those guys have ridden through many different temperate zones. I'm not such a good guy to be able to provide you advice because I just get cold and get wet and get frozen, and because I don't carry all the gear. I don't usually. I'll have a couple of pieces, but I'm not a rain gear guy. So I get cold and I get wet and just keep going, and it turns into miserable, and you have to thaw and stuff when you get there. But for me, that JP's got a very good philosophy when it comes to packing and how to pack, and clothes and rubber gloves underneath the leather gloves and different things that are going to make you much happier and comfortable for your trip. I'm not the guy to listen to, but he has a lot of good advice.
We're going to
About you?
learn a lot.
What about you, Tony? What are you
Nah,
worried
my-
about riding in the truck for?
boredom, but no, my whole job is safety. So that's what's keeping me up at night, is just knowing that I'm going to be a certain distance behind you guys, and just hoping for no incidents, and being as prepped as we can for mechanical breakdowns and potential of tires, the potential of an exhausted rider. So that's my main thing, is just making sure I'll be the mother hen of the group. If I see someone looking fatigued, I'm gonna call you out on it, and I don't don't take it personally, but it's all of our job to watch each other's back. But I'm gonna be the one in the best shape, not dealing with the climate and the fatigue as much. So,
Well, and part of the equipment that we're using for the trip is you're taking F-250 that has a 2-bike trailer. So if we have issues, hopefully we don't have more than 2 bike issues, but we have the 2-bike trailer to be able to help out and support us along the route. We do have in Alaska set up to do all of our oil changes and services once we get up there. So that should help too, kind of go over everything and make sure we're all good. Everybody's taking tires and stuff with them, so we can handle any issues that we have, hopefully, along the way. About you, JP?
I over prepare, or at least I overthink it. That's always going to be my problem. So I'm sitting here. I still need to go back through my packing list again, because I definitely need to parse some stuff down, because you want to have everything you need, but I'm just like Tank. I don't like to pack more than what I can actually get on my bike. Within reason, I think in this case, obviously the tires, and I'm going to have some foodstuffs that I'm going to be taking with me to kind of experiment a little bit, because I'm looking forward to doing more of these longer rides. So I kind of want to play around with some ideas with packing some food and not always having to rely on roadside stuff. But I'm really excited. I can't wait. But
doing those longer rides because you have a bike that's capable of handling longer rides now.
Hey, listen, there was nothing wrong with my Harley. It did me really good for a lot of years. But
So
yeah, this Indian, I don't know. I think maybe you and I might be the safer ones. The guys on the Harleys.
What?
Shots fired.
So it
So
starts.
listen, if something does happen, we have many more places to get them fixed than you do.
Yeah, you're right.
You're right.
You're right. We have to try and find a Polaris dealer.
The snowmobile
maybe
shop.
they'll work on their snow machines for us.
Right.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yep, you guys are worried about all that stuff, and I'm just trying to figure out how many cigars and whiskey I can get across the border.
I want to know, have you actually started packing yet?
No.
What's that?
Of course not. I said, have you started packing yet?
No.
No, of course not.
I'll pack Sunday.
Have you started packing?
JP's packed 3 times and unpacked 3 times.
Yeah.
He's got his underwear in a plastic bag so it won't get wet.
Like, fold it or
Separated by color and outfit size.
Look, I had something come up. I actually have to fly out to DC Monday morning next week, and I was planning on coming back Monday evening.
do you want us to pick you up?
Now I got it extended today. So I'll be up there Monday and Tuesday. So I get back Wednesday. I'll pack Wednesday so that we can leave on Friday.
That's plenty of time.
Well, I got Wednesday and Thursday, so I got a day there I can rest a little bit before we get started.
Yeah, right, sure. Risky rest. Yeah.
Well, I think that's.
You sure you don't want to ride your bike up to DC?
Huh? Ride to DC? No, because I don't have to get an oil change.
Ride to DC? Right?
I wouldn't mind. Well, that's about it. I didn't have a whole lot else. I just wanted to chat with you guys and find out where you're at, what you're thinking. Ray, how long you been riding?
Oh boy. Well, I was put on a gas tank when I was about 4 years old and held onto the crossbars of my dad riding. So I've been on two wheels pretty much my whole life. As soon as I turned 17, I got my endorsement. So I'm 55. So I've been riding a bit.
Okay.
About 30 years. I didn't have the privilege of getting to ride on a bunch of mini bikes and stuff. That would have been awesome. But I kind of foolishly self-taught myself 30 years ago and made it this far. So I've taken a number of long trips, but not repetitive. I mean, like I said before, this is like every day for like 2 weeks until we get there. Not only a long ride, but then most nights we have an event that we're doing in a meet and greet, and we're doing this fun with a purpose, and trying to raise money for special needs kids to get dental care at no cost to them.
Okay, GC, we know you're a few years.
Five. That's it. 5 years.
Who's got underwear older than 5 years?
And I hadn't ridden with another person until I moved down here 2 years ago. So only 2 years of riding with other people.
Yeah, and now you're involved in chapter rides and group rides, and you've done very well. You've learned quickly.
You're doing good.
Yep.
Good. Thank you.
How about you, Tony?
I rode my first motorcycle with a clutch. I was 7 years old. Got my endorsement at 17. I've been riding on the road for 41 years. So,
Wow.
Quite a while.
How about you, JP?
You asked me on this last one and I got it wrong. I had to think about it. I thought it was closer to 25. It's right around 20 because I started riding. I was around bikes growing up. I had an uncle that was on bikes a lot, so I was on them a lot when I was a kid, but I didn't start actually riding on the road or really anything until I was in my mid-20s, and I'm in my mid-40s now. So 20 years.
Nice. Well, I'm about I don't know. I started riding, same as most mini bikes, the little doodle bug, motorcycles with the 2.5 horsepower Briggs engine, and went from there. My cousin and I used to ride a bunch, beat the snot out of a little Trail 70, riding through the woods, and went from there to a 90 and then a 125, and moved my way up to street bikes. I think the first street bike I had was a Honda CB 350, kickstart only, and that was my comeuppance. in order to be able to ride the bike, I had to be able to start it, and it had been sitting for a long time. And I remember going to high school and the bottom of my foot was so sore that I had a hard time walking on it, because as soon as I got home, I was working on the carburetors and trying to get the floats adjusted right and trying to kickstart that stupid motorcycle for weeks and weeks and weeks before I could finally get it started. So I'm about the same. As soon as I was able to get my license, I got it and have been riding ever since.
I have a
Very
doodle
good.
bug in the garage.
You still do?
Yeah, he does.
I got one out here in the trailer. I ride it in the parade, in the grotto parade.
Nice.
I've seen that.
Paid $60 for at a flea market about a year ago.
Nice,
Bought it because it was a doodle bug.
right? I think mine's got, I don't know, probably $250 maybe invested. And that's because I bought a new engine 5 years ago to put in it. So, all right, very good.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it. I just wanted to give everybody a chance to chat with you guys and find out what we're about and what we're trying to do here. I checked some stuff earlier. We're around $25,000 that we've raised. Our goal is $50,000. So we're about halfway there, but just about all of these stops that we're stopping at are fundraisers as well. So hopefully we come home with a little bit more money than we started with. And again, it's about raising awareness so that people understand the needs of special needs kids and having dental care. Dental care is not something that's covered by, it's not covered by Medicare or Medicaid. So the Humanitarian Foundation, once you get accepted into the program, they handle the expenses of the doctor, the hospital, the anesthesiologist, everything. So, and a lot of times with special needs kids, the medicines that they take adversely affect their dental care. So it's really important that we do the best we can to make all kids smile.
Risky, is it too late to get sponsors if anybody's listening to this podcast?
Nope. We are doing sponsorships still until Monday morning. Monday morning will be the cutoff because we're taking and putting the names of all of the sponsors of $500 or more are going on our banner that's been posted out online. So some people can see that banner. On the $500 or more, you also get put on the event t-shirt. So all of our sponsors are also going to be on that event t-shirt. But we welcome any donations at all. Oh, wait a minute. We got this cool.
How can people donate?
Wow. If you check that website at the bottom of the.
Like
You mean the one that's scrolling underneath my screen?
Yeah.
Oh,
that one down there.
I should have started
right
with
at the
that.
bottom.
I should have started with that. So if you go on that website, it has all the information about the ride, about who we are, why we're doing it, the 501c3. More, it'll have links to the Humanitarian Foundation, to Grottos International for any Masons that are interested in joining Grotto or being a part of Grotto. All of that information is on the Miles for Smiles website. And that's also where that link was that we showed earlier that had the tracking information. Is that tracking is also on the website. So anybody that wants to follow along and see where we're at, that'll be the best way to do it.
And if or is your plan to do regular podcasts on the route?
Every stop, I plan to be able to do a podcast like this. It's going to be a remote live stream that we can do to YouTube and Facebook and everything. So every evening when we get to a stop, hopefully we'll be able to live stream and share the people that show up to meet us and what we've rode into, and we'll be able to talk about the things that happen to us during the day, if we've had anything, good things or bad things or weather, or people will be able to see how beat up we get by the time we get to the end.
I'm sure we'll get there.
That guy Tank's beard was kind of brown when he started. It's all gray.
Now, Risky, we're going to be doing some video taking along the way. I think it's going to be at least 3 of us are going to have action cameras with us. We're going to be, I mean, we're all pretty amateurs at it, but I think we're going to be trying to come up with some videos and pictures and stuff to also be able to share the places that we're traveling to and through.
Yep, absolutely.
And
That's
so
probably the
we'll be
only
able to
way I'll
post that
see
on
it.
social media.
What's that?
That'll be posted on social media.
Yeah.
That's
And-
the plan.
And a lot of the video stuff is going to require some, obviously, some director ability. I mean, we're going to have to be able to go through or editing ability. We're going to have to be able to go through and stuff, and that's going to require time. And I just don't know how much time we're going to have until we get back. That was another one of the big reasons that we get back on September 3rd. That I wanted to wait to do the welcome home party until the 8th, because if we do it on the 8th, it'll give me an opportunity to collect all of the videos and pictures and everything and put it all together so that when we have that party here at the Grotto in Plant City at Zenda Grotto, we'll be able to share all of that with those people that want to come and welcome us back.
All right. I'm going to have my computer with me, and I do have some minimal editing experience. So
Awesome.
hopefully there's
I'm
going to be some time.
computer.
So if we can throw together even some quicker montages and just some video highlights of the day. I don't know if we'll be able to pull it off every day, but hopefully something so folks that are following us will be able to see it.
Right. So people can see the fires and the buffalo and the moose and
Yeah.
I was told at some of the bigger stops, Tank was going to play his bagpipes. So I don't know whether that's true or not.
Ooh.
Variety show.
You know, the problem is
Those little tires?
packing everything that I need.
Don't you
What
have
are
one
the
of the little
pipes?
pocket pipe, pocket bagpipe, a little tiny one?
I have a practice chanter. Maybe I'll bring that.
Bring
Tell
it
Joe
one of
that-
those.
all right.
One of those
Well,
things that
very
kids do
good.
in school.
I think we've gone on long enough. I'll see you guys soon. I know everybody's going to start making their pilgrimage down here so that we can get it together and get going. Unfortunately, I got a little bit of travel I need to do in the interim, but we'll all get down here and kind of get it together, and maybe we can do a short podcast on August 2nd. We're going to meet at the Grotto in Plant City at 7:00 and take off at 8:00. So hopefully we can be in Birmingham, Alabama by 8:00 at night. So we got a tough 12-hour day the first day, and then it gets a little bit easier.
Just remember, Birmingham, they love the governor.
Yes, they do.
All right, guys. Very cool. Well, thanks
All
for
right.
coming on and spending your time with me. I appreciate it. If there's
No
anything
problem.
that you
Thank
need,
you. I can't wait.
anything
Right
that you need before we get there, let me know. And I guess I'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good.
See you
All right.
soon.
Excellent.
Take care.
All right. See you soon.
See ya.
Travel safe.